All right, so we're going to play a warm-up game. Each one of us is going to say a line in a story, and one of us has to start the line with fortunately, and the other one starts their line with unfortunately. Yeah. And we just go back and forth. So do you want to be fortunately or unfortunately?
I'll be unfortunately.
You'll be unfortunately.
I'll be unfortunately.
Okay. Fortunately, I died.
Unfortunately, I found myself in hell.
Fortunately, this was my plan all along.
Unfortunately, I was down in the lowest rung and had to work my way up.
Fortunately, the best way to work your way up the levels of hell is by doing sexual favors.
Unfortunately, those sexual favors include demon dicks that are literally on fire.
Oh, okay. On fire demon dicks. All right. Well, fortunately, they're all bottoms.
Unfortunately, their buttholes are also on fire.
Oh, come on. Fortunately, I had brought my anti-fire elixir with me to hell.
Unfortunately, it was too hot in hell for the elixir.
Fortunately, this problem can be solved by just fucking drinking it.
Unfortunately, you have cooled down all of the fires in hell and turned it into a frozen hellscape.
Fortunately, the fucking fire problem is solved.
Unfortunately, you still have to fulfill the demon dicks.
Fortunately, it's going to be a lot easier with all this ice around.
Unfortunately, a booming voice summons you up to the throne room of hell.
Well, I guess this is dick number 1 then. Fortunately, I brought my best chapstick with me and was ready to go.
Unfortunately, he wanted you to watch 8 hours of NASCAR instead.
Fortunately, I was ready to praise Dale and raise hail.
Unfortunately, it got late and I had to leave the demon's house.
Fortunately, he asked me back for a second date.
Unfortunately, it was for a Saved by the Bell marathon.
Fortunately, I was able to convince him that a date at the carnival would be a better idea.
Unfortunately, it was full of satanic juggalos.
The carnival?
Yeah, it's the dark carnival.
Okay, I guess that doesn't surprise me. Fortunately, I'm down with the clown. Whoop whoop, fam!
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, Eminem was there.
Fortunately, the juggalos were there to murder him.
Unfortunately, Dr. Dre showed up and he had gun arms.
Fortunately, Dr. Dre also wanted to kill Eminem. This is going to be a pretty bloody carnival.
Unfortunately, the Ferris wheel broke and started, crashing off into the carnival.
Fortunately, it was not in a part of the carnival where we were at.
Unfortunately, the ruckus that it caused summons, an even crazier arcane demon from deeper in hell.
Fortunately, my demon date and the one that was summoned were both polyamorous, so we decided to start a throuple.
Unfortunately, hell has a tax on polycules.
Oh, no fair. Fortunately, I had a long, successful life of protesting injustices like this while I was still alive. And sat down to start drawing my protest signs.
Unfortunately, hell is an absolute monarchy that is ruled by Beelzebub.
Beelzebub?
Beelzebub.
Fortunately, He is also not impervious to gun arms. So I went to talk to Dr. Dre.
Unfortunately, Dr. Dre wanted you to pay him.
Fortunately, he wanted me to pay him in blowjobs.
Unfortunately, you're very dehydrated in hell because it's hot.
Fortunately, that problem had been solved earlier when all the ice showed up. You are high.
Unfortunately... Oh, yeah, I'm stumped.
I win! Yay! Okay, I think we're sufficiently warmed up now. Let's start the show.
Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx.
Hi, my name is Sabrina, and if I died and became reincarnated as an animal, I think I would want to be a hyena.
Hyena?
Yeah.
So you could have like the, what do they call it? The pseudo penis?
How did you know?
I know how you are. My name is Matt, and if I was going to be reincarnated as an animal, I would be the kangaroo.
What is a kangaroo?
You know, the fish that swims up your pee hole.
Ah! and this is
Sumo Punx.
No!
All right, fine.
A pee hole!
Then I won't be the pee hole fish.
Oh no!
Okay, maybe the piranha. No, pee hole fish. I take it back. I'll be the kangaroo.
I can't decide which one's scarier. Why, though?
Oh, why not? Nobody gives the kangaroo any love.
Oh, God. Well,
right.
I'm sure that's true. Okay.
But that's enough about, you know, fish swimming up your pee hole to laying eggs and doing all that sort of thing.
You didn't even mention eggs before.
Well, they gotta lay their eggs somewhere.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck.
Okay, so
I'm going to have nightmares. Thank you.
that's enough wildlife for today. We are not the Wild Boys. We are Sumo Punx. So we're going to talk about...
This ain't the Discovery Channel.
I'm not Steve-O. You're not Chris Pontius.
You're not David Attenborough.
And you're not... What's that other guy's name? Manny Puig? The only, like, legitimate, like, nature guy that was with those dudes.
I always thought it was funny as fuck that the Jackass guys decided to do a nature show.
To me, that was the next logical step, and I was all about it.
Dude, the Tasmanian Devils, that's gotta be the best, the best episode. If you guys have never seen Wild Boys, check it out. I'm sure it's on the internet.
It's very, very dated.
Anyway, I'm going to try really hard not to think about fish in my pee hole while you tell us what the upcoming events are.
All right. In the world of amateur sumo, February 11th, the Mighty Eagle Team Tournament hosted by Mighty Eagle Sumo Club in San Antonio, Texas. 3-on-3 teams, club versus club, or get together 2 of your friends to join you and form your own sumo team. There's just going to be teams coming out the butt.
Not the pee hole.
Not the pee hole. February 25th, the SoCal Sumo Open Tournament hosted by Hono Sumo in San Diego, California. Adults, kids, and teams divisions. And we are actually going to have a lot more information about this coming up within the next couple of weeks.
Ooh.
Foreshadowing. March 11th, the 2023 U.S. National Sumo Championships. This is the qualifier for the 2023 World Championships and the World Combat Games in Riyadh. This is going to be held in Orlando, Florida. March 25th, the Kuma Sumo Bash, hosted by Antioch Sumo Bears of Antioch High School, junior men's and women's divisions, ages 13 to 18, along with the demonstration and instruction at Antioch High School in Antioch, Tennessee.
That's a whole lot of Antioch.
That's a whole lot of
This
Antioch.
is going to be all youth, right?
All youth.
Man, I can't wait to see what happens.
And if you want to keep track of the events that are coming up, especially the local U.S. amateur sumo events, and there's a few international events on there, check out Kellyanne Ball's website. That's sumo411.com. It's got the calendar with all the stuff.
Yeah, fucking tables and charts and shit. I don't know.
Horoscopes.
Ooh, sumo horoscopes? Oh my god. Okay, so what is your sumo zodiac?
Oh my god. Let's see. I was born in January, so that would be Capricorn. I guess I was born under the sign of, who's a January Rikishi?
I feel like we don't have enough information to continue this bit.
I was about to say, that sounds like something we're going to have to construct.
Yes.
We're going to construct this.
It's like, I was born under the sign of Konishiki.
I'm more of a, I'm a Kitana Umi myself, but...
Really? You weren't born under the sign of Konishiki? You got the same hair.
I guess I do, huh?
Yeah, you both got pink. Well, last time I saw him on his Instagram, he had pink hair. Just like you. Anyway.
So it is the end of 2022, and what a harrowing, just menacing year this has been.
It hasn't been as brutal as a few of the previous years. I will say that.
Very true. But there have been lots of very personal challenges, and then starting this amateur sumo thing, so things have been
starting this podcast.
Starting the podcast, there have been lots of...
Doing our millennial duty and finally starting a podcast.
There have been challenges, there have been hurdles, there have been things to conquer this entire year.
So, we have had such a fucking fantastic time making this lovely show for all of you that we decided we wanted to do something a little bit special for the end of the year. And we asked you to give us your most burning questions. Anything you wanted to know about us, tips and trivia about sumo, what's your mama's babka recipe? What the fuck ever. And we're going to answer it. We got a bunch of awesome questions. Some of them a little weird. But, we've been doing this for almost a year now. It's been more like 10 months because we started it in February. Yeah. Right? February 2022. What a fucking roller coaster of a year this has been. What a year to start a fucking podcast. So this isn't really like our anniversary episode. It's just like, oh my god, 2022 is over. Let's do something fun for the kids. Let's develop that parasocial relationship a little bit more.
So we went all over the social medias and we gathered your questions. We rocked them up to their purest form, and we're going to start launching them at each other.
Yeah, we're going to start huffing that shit straight up. Fucking freebasing your deepest desires.
That sounds like a 900 number commercial.
So why don't you go ahead and start off with our first question, which I believe is from Mr. Jared Tadlock.
Mr. Jared
One
Tadlock.
of my favorites, by the way, I feel like I should say, first and foremost. One of my absolute very favorites.
So Mr. Jared Tadlock of the Dallas Sumo Club asks, for you, Sabrina, specifically, A2 Brute!
I'm sure this has something to do with the year-end episode that we did.
with Grand Sumo Breakdown and Sake and Sumo.
Yes, with Jake and Mac of Grand Sumo Breakdown and Caleb from Sake and Sumo. An award show style episode where we voted on who we thought should win the various awards in amateur sumo. In my defense, we had recorded for 3 hours straight with no breaks, and I was very tired, and the caffeine was leaving my body at a very rapid rate.
She was crumbling under the pressure.
I was. No, I was a little... I was dissociating a little bit at that point, okay? I was just leaving my body along with the caffeine. looking down at myself from above. Like, why are you making such stupid decisions right now? You should have voted for Jared.
Oh.
The bad part of it is I'm not even 100% sure which award he's mad about. Because I know he was up for a few of them.
Yeah, a few different ones.
I feel like I'm going to need to do something to get back in his good graces. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Because he's mentioned it a few times, and I know he's not just joking because he's mentioned it a few times. He was up for so many awards that I thought he had already won a lot. I don't know. I can just commit seppuku, like, to... Since I have dishonored myself now. This is the part of Ride or Die where you die. Okay. I have caused him emotional pain, and now I must atone for
which brings us to part 2. Could I have secured your votes if I had glorious hair like Eric and a mustache as strong as Edibo? I need to know these things going forward into 2023.
I told him already that I do like his hair. I just wish I could see it down more. Because, I like the boys with the long hair. All the boys should have the long hair and take very good care of it. I feel like I'm channeling fucking Jonathan Van Ness right now. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. As you might be able to tell, I am highly caffeinated right now. But as far as the mustache goes, I can't imagine Jared with a mustache, honestly.
I can imagine Jared with a mustache. I think I've seen Jared with a mustache.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of mustache would he even have? Like one of those old-timey, like, curly mustaches?
Now that you put it in my head, I just can't unsee it, and I can't see anything else.
Give him the Hulk Hogan facial hair.
Jared, grow a mustache, damn it.
For those who don't know, Jared Tadlock is one of the members of Dallas Sumo Club, one of the founding members. He has won several competitions this year.
Lots of hardware.
And apparently I couldn't recognize
You have offended him.
his greatness. There was some sort of mental block that is just keeping me from...
He's going to just, give you the rock eyebrow. That eyebrow's just going to...
He's going to call me a jabroni and then,
You are a jabroni.
hit me with a chair.
And you would deserve that chair.
So, next question is from Mark Jones. He asks, if you could take a piece from all the professional sumo wrestlers in an attempt to make the ultimate rikishi, what would you take from whom? Love the use of the word whom. And why?
All right.
Just all the butts. Just all of the butts from all of the rikishi. Just make a gluteus golem.
Oh my god.
The ultimate...
I
can't say rectal rikishi. That's not even the part of the butt I'm interested... Well... let me backtrack a little bit here. Rump! That's an R word that rhymes with rikishi. No, that alliterates with rikishi. I'm sorry.
God damn.
I lied, I'm not sorry. Fine, what kind of rikishi would you make?
Well, I was a dork about it and I thought about it.
Yeah, see, you're just a dork because you actually put thought into stuff. Unlike me, who just grabs the first thought that flies by my fucking brain.
Well, this is just if we're talking about a Frankenstein here, we're Frankensteining a rikishi. So, okay, we got Abi's orangutan arms, and Chiyonafuji's musculature, Chiyomaru's butt,
Chiyonafuji's traps specifically,
and then Ura's acrobatic sense, Midori Fuji's aggressiveness.
Kiribayama's deep voice. Definitely has to be in the mix.
Oh my god.
Oh, Inho's baby face.
Oh, and just be this Frankenstein rikishi with Inho's baby face.
We're gonna make the cutest monster.
Oh my God, and make a dating sim about it.
Dude, if I even knew how to, like, fucking code shit, I would have already made a fucking Rikishi dating sim. You best believe that shit. Already done. Been doing that. All right, next question is from Kellyanne Ball. Hi, Kellyanne. For those of you who might remember, Kellyanne was part of Team USA at the World Games this year.
Also a part of Yamamoto Sumo Dojo in LA.
That is correct. So she wanted to know, when do we see Sabrina in a Mawashi again? And then tacked onto that question was some stuff about nipple tassels, going panty-free in 2023.
Oh, that hashtag, am I joking?
Yeah. So, where to start with this? As far as me getting into a Mawashi again, I feel like that is going to happen. I'm not quite sure when yet. There's just a lot on my plate right now. But, you know, there's some anxiety with that, too. I do have a disorder that makes me heal more slowly. Well, it's not the disorder that does it. It's the medication that I have to take for the disorder. Basically, my immune system is trying to kill me. So, I'm an X-Man. If y'all didn't know. I'm basically like the opposite of Wolverine.
Jesus.
So, yeah, injury is a big worry. If I get injured, it's going to take me longer to heal unless I stop taking my medication. And if I stop taking my medication, then the inflammation is going to start building up, because that's like the weapon that the immune system uses against your body if it hates you.
It's just like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Exactly. Sumo damned if you do, sumo damned if you don't. Which takes us to our next question. Well, okay, before we do that, maybe I should address the nipple tassels. I'm pretty sure there's pictures out there somewhere of me wearing nipple tassels already. Okay, I do have a past. And going panty-free in 2023, I know that's the meme right now.
Yeah.
But,
Are you going to go panty free in 2023?
I go panty free all the time, motherfuckers. I haven't worn panties in the past 23 years. I ain't even joking.
And we do have you in the panty free Mawashi pictures that I took. What was that, last year? No, that was earlier this year, wasn't it?
I think it was earlier this year that you posted in the Facebook group, and then you got nervous and took them off of there.
Yeah, because I was like, well, I don't want to get ourselves zucked or anything for butt cheeks. I mean, those are some prime.
Dude, I have been suspended on Facebook for like far tamer shit than that.
I got suspended from Facebook
understand.
for my own nipples. Like, it was my own titties. All I put was like, oh, damn, that's a titty.
Well, if you didn't have such luscious titties.
But it was just my titties. But Facebook, I don't know, man. Just whatever.
They hate the human body, apparently. I think that if you're comfortable wearing shorts, then wear shorts. If you're comfortable going tradish, go tradish. Me personally, I have been panty free since 2003, okay? Earlier than that, actually. I have not worn panties since I was 15 years old.
So you're just fucking flying commando.
I'm free-labing it, dude. I've been free-labing it for years now. I tried, okay? Shit gets sweaty. I tried the thongs, but I got so much cheek. It just swallows that shit up. Okay. What's the point of wearing a thong if whenever you wear a thong, it just makes you look like you're not wearing anything at all?
Might as well just
so
not
I was
wear
like, fuck it.
all.
I'm gonna let my shit hang out and, get a lot of air. And it's good for you.
Yeah.
To not wear a bunch of cloth like close to your crotch all the time, because that breeds bacteria.
But I don't know. I like my little underwears. I don't know.
I did get you to stop sleeping with underwear on, though, which has a lot of extra benefits.
So nasty.
Anyway, next question Kellyanne asked, have you guys seen the OG Sumo Do's, Sumo Don'ts? And yes,
Oh yeah, that was fucking great. We were watching one of those random Twitch streams on like a Saturday night, and we saw Sumo do Sumo Don't, and it was fantastic. It was fucking great.
Was it Midnight Sumo?
Yeah,
I think it was.
yeah. It was Midnight Sumo, and then I rewatched it again whenever Justin Kizzard and Caleb watched it, and they had like their commentary along with it. But it was so funny because like they're towards the end, they're just like. Just super focused on the movie. Everyone's just like, oh, just watching so intently. It was fucking great.
What I really love about it is it has that feel of like an 80s, early 90s, like college comedy movie.
Yeah, it
but
kinda
without the sexual assault and the racism and, you know, all of the stuff that is the reason we can't watch those movies anymore without feeling kind of icky.
Seriously.
So it does have that same feel as like Revenge of the Nerds or whatever. It's just all the nerds are wearing mawashis.
It's really great. I love it. And the sequel, you know, I guess the series is like definitely in the spirit of the original, and there's a lot of parallels in there, like whenever they fight the little kids in the original movie versus whenever they fight the old people in the little kids in the series. And I thought the parallels were cool, and I like the little Easter eggs from the original. So
Yeah, because some of the actors who were in the original movie actually showed up in the series too.
that was fucking great.
The only thing is, I was convinced, I don't know how I convinced myself, there was going to be lesbians in this series.
Oh, I know you were already like having your fan fiction.
Yeah, no, I thought that the main girl, I'm very bad with names. I'm name blind.
Honoka.
Okay.
So
yeah.
there was Honoka
So Honoka,
and her rival Mayu.
I thought in a few different scenes, oh shit, they're about to kiss. And then they didn't, and it was very frustrating. I don't know, it's on Disney.
Yeah.
Disney Plus, so definitely check it out. It is pretty good.
Yeah, the OG movie is awesome, but I don't know if it's out on any kind of distribution, really.
Listen, I'm not telling you what to do, but you can find that shit on the internet,
there's
okay?
ways.
It's out there. All right, what's the next question?
All right, several people across the interbutts have asked, you guys going to nationals?
Ooh, you gotta donate to my coffee page.
Man, seriously.
What is it? Ko-fi?
Coffee, I think it's coffee. Like, you know, buy you a coffee.
Okay. It
But-
looks like it's supposed to be a parody on Wi-Fi.
Ko-fi?
But it's
like coffee.
We link the shit in the description of every episode, and I think we've only had like 2 people who've ever donated, which, by the way,
Thank
to
you.
those 2 people, we love you. You're better than everyone else. Your skin is glowing. You smell amazing. But yeah, money's definitely an issue. Especially since we are trying to move out of our tiny apartment into a house. We're trying to save up some money so that we can have the fantasy backyard doyo. But also, Florida's just terrifying. And I say this as a Texan, okay? Oh my God, did I just call myself a Texan?
Well, I mean, you've lived in Texas for a long time.
I guess if it's been more than 5 years, I'm allowed to call myself a Texan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have been to Florida several times, and I don't know what it is. It's something about being on a peninsula where there's like only one way out. That's just, it's very anxiety inducing in me. And then, like, what are you gonna do? Like, jump into the ocean? If you can't make it up what is that highway that goes up the middle of Florida?
I don't know.
And tourists, okay? I do not like tourists. I do not like just huge throngs of people. Man, if there were a zombie apocalypse, I would be...
I don't know. Part of me, like, envisions...
I'd be moving to Antarctica.
Part of me envisions, like, Miami of being, like, a RoboCop-esque dystopian hellscape.
Well, it's not going to be in Miami, though.
Well, I know it's going to be in Orlando, but still, like, but I just imagine, like, parts of Florida kind of differently.
I mean, Orlando is definitely its own kind of hellscape. For sure. But I do love my Florida people. and I want to see them, and I want to see them succeed. And that might be enough to help me get over my Florida anxiety. But we'll just have to see. Really, the biggest issue is the money.
Yeah.
Traveling is fucking expensive, so support the fucking people who are competing. Support the sumo media people.
Definitely.
You know, like, we put a lot of shit into this.
Yeah, I definitely want to go, and I'm actively trying to make things happen to where I can go, but inflation's a motherfucker.
No shit.
But we'll figure it out. We might, do some fucking...
I'll just get some Xanax. I'll be fine.
We'll do some sort of fundraising, but yeah, we would really like to go to Nationals, but we are also very broke.
And when is Nationals this year? In 2023?
March 11th.
March 11th. Okay, I thought it was in March. I got my first tattoo in Florida, actually.
Really?
And I'm thinking about it. Yeah, the ankh that I have on the back of my neck.
I
know it's the most stereotypical fucking goth girl tattoo, but yeah, I got it at a mall by some apprentice tattoo artist. They have tattoo parlors in the malls in Florida.
How fucking Florida is that?
I know, right? Right next to the fucking gun shop.
I've
right
actually,
next to the Spencers.
I have never been to Florida. Never been to Florida.
You've never been to Florida?
I've never been to Florida. And you know what? I'm part Seminole, so I have, folks that live in Florida.
Yeah, your people came from Florida, dude.
Never lived in Florida, never been to Florida. So, I should, just for the sake of going to Florida, at least once in my life.
When I was a kid, for about, 6 years, I think it was. Yeah, for about 6 years, I lived in Valdosta, Georgia, very close to the Georgia-Florida line. And we would go down there sometimes. We did the Disney World thing once. We would go to the beach every so often, if there were other family members visiting from out of state. And it was nice when I was a kid, and I didn't know jack shit about jack shit. But I've had some pretty crazy experiences in Florida as an adult. Let's just leave it at that. Hopefully we'll be able to make it, but... please don't be disappointed if we can't.
All right. So next question is from our roommate, Liz. All right.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz. Why are there East and West in the rankings for the wrestlers, like Komusubi West or Jurio 9 East, etc.?
Because they're not North and South.
Damn it. Well, it is part of the whole ranking system where East is a little bit higher than West, and, both sides kind of have to be balanced out. It's...
Yeah. So, like, if you have a Komusubi East and a Komusubi West, then the Komusubi East is, like, half a rank higher than the Komusubi West. Shit like that.
So, as far as I can tell, it's just a rankings thing. It's kind of like an aesthetic thing. And, the whole East versus West is...
East side, West side.
Not necessarily
Bloods versus Crips.
There's a lot that could be inferred by, East versus West. The sun rises in the East, sets
fucking
in the West.
Ricci
It could be
doing
like
drive-bys and shit.
Damn it. We could get into
Isn't it like part of Shinto too? There's like a lot of emphasis put on the different cardinal directions.
Yeah.
And they have like different symbolism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
that's what I meant by like, the aesthetic, because whenever sumo first started, it was just, people beating the dog shit out of each other in the streets. Mm-hmm. And then I think it was it during the Heian period? Or was it? I think it was during the Heian period, wherever they started. Long ass time ago when they started.
In a country far, far away.
Making sumo more palatable to the nobles by say, hey, okay, well, don't close your fist when you hit them, just, and don't kick the shit out of them, just trip them maybe.
Try not to break anybody's spine.
Yeah. And then now here's a ring, just push them out. Okay, now you win. So.
Have you seen the pictures of, somebody had posted some pictures a couple of days ago. It was from, I think, the late 1800s, early 1900s. And the size of the doyo was so much smaller back then. They've actually expanded the size of the ring. They've changed a lot of things in the past century or so.
Oh, yeah. Whenever they have the, like the pillars, they used to have those pillars, and like, can't remember what the roof type thing is called, that they have suspended above the dohyo. But that used to be supported by poles, by beams, and now it's It's got some high-tech Kokugikon technology up in there. But
Yeah, it's all hydraulic and shit.
it's got those tassels now, so we got nice tassels instead of... But they did that to make it easier to be televised, you know,
Yeah.
so you could get a better angle
So
for
you didn't
TV.
get a pole in the way when you were trying to film the shit.
Yeah, like Terano Fuji's first Doyo Eri.
That's just another one of those things where people say, like, oh, we have to preserve the traditional way of doing sumo. It's like, dude, you've only been doing this for a few decades, actually.
Yeah, you
Like-
just kind of changed it. You changed it back in like the 1940s or 50s for television, you know.
Yeah, it's constantly going through changes, and to act like merely suggesting that some sort of change be made is an affront to the tradition of sumo is just so fucking stupid.
That's
I
an affront
hate
to
it when
the
people get their-
JSA.
Yeah, well,
But, you know, circling back to the original question, why is there East and West? I think probably for aesthetic purposes.
because it makes it sound cooler.
But I think the functional reason for having East and West is for the rankings. They got to balance it out, you know. You have the same amount of people on the east side that you have on the same amount of the west side to kind of even out the bracket, you know, make it look cool.
Yeah.
You gotta have a really cool looking entrance ceremony.
Yeah, no, it actually does lend a lot to the whole ritual of sumo.
Yeah. Makes the rankings easier to suss out too.
Sure. Okay, so this next question is from our friend Artemis, aka Rachel, aka the one who's gonna ask all the really personal shit. She says, do you guys think about sumo while having sex? Like, which Kamarite hit your head before you finish?
Oh, Jesus.
Damn, girl, that's fucking personal.
Or whatever, you know, like, show me your cock and
See, I knew we were going to get this kind of reputation by doing all of that, like, really pervy shit early on in our podcast. Well, what's the answer? Do you think about sumo while we're doing it?
You know, if it's like during a tournament and like, no, I'm just.
It's like one of those old cliches, like, just think about baseball. Just think about baseball.
Oh my God.
You're not trying out any, like, specific Kamarite and I'm just not noticing, or you're not hitting it with that Kubi Hineri.
I'm never looking at that move the same way ever again. Jeez.
I'm not sure, actually, if this is a yes or a no. I don't think I've ever thought of it while we're doing it. I can't speak for you, though.
I mean, I do think about a lot of stuff. Sometimes random stuff just flies to your head, you know, whenever you're just like, you know, you're like, oh yeah, that happened. And then you're like, you know what?
Oh, man, I gotta do my taxes soon. Fuck,
Yeah, and
gosh.
sometimes it just happens.
Fuck, I
You're like,
forgot to
oh
feed
shit,
the
here we go.
dog.
Here
Yeah.
we go. So, you know, it has probably ran through my head. I'm like, oh damn,
God.
we got to watch day 13 tonight.
As long as you don't mention it while we're doing it.
Yeah, I'm just like sitting there like plowing away like, yeah, we really got to fucking watch day 13 tonight.
Oh my god.
And smack the butt cheek.
Did you see that shit Wakamoto Haru was doing in fucking day 12?
It's like, Kiribayama got robbed.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh my god.
But I don't know.
Thanks. Now
I was gonna say-
I'm gonna be thinking about that next time. You have
probably
ruined-
not before, but definitely in the future.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. So what do we got for our next question?
All right, Mr. Richard Neal of the Swiss Sumo Society.
Swiss Sumo Society.
He asks, when and where did you first meet each other? And what made it click between you?
So it was the Kamarite he was doing on me in the bedroom that just made me know he was the one.
It was that Kimari.
It was that fucking Uwatanage, I swear.
God.
It was like, ooh, Watanabe.
Ooh, Ooh.
No, we actually met on the internet, like all millennials do.
It was like 2013 when we first started like just talking. And it was just, just casual. Hey, how's it going? You live on the other side of the country, but you seem cool.
Yeah, we actually met on OkCupid. But like, we didn't even talk about anything like romantic or sexy or anything. We were just like, I'm going to add you on Facebook. You are my Facebook friend now. Let me basically ignore you for the next 3 years.
So she ended up, you moved to Columbia to go to college and shit?
Yeah, I went to the fancy school. Well, the fancy state school.
Yeah, and I got married for a little bit. And so it was like, we were kind of fucking off doing our own thing for a little bit. And then like I got divorced. She moved back to Springfield.
I had like a mental breakdown and quit college. And went on a dick hunt.
We just started talking to each other on Facebook, and then she sent me she made these handmade patches, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I want a patch. And so I was like, hey, send me a patch. And she put a fuck ton of glitter in it. She like glitter bombed me.
So I poured the glitter on the patch. It was a rather large patch.
Yeah.
And then I folded it in such a way that when you unfurled it, all the glitter would just come flying out.
And it did. All over my stupid work polo and fucking...
See, I knew. I must have known somewhere in the back of my mind I was going to get a chance to ruin a polo. And that's why I did that shit. I decided I wanted to go visit my sisters in Arizona for Thanksgiving, but I was going to like stop in Texas along the way to, kind of check out the vibe, and kind of just never left Texas.
God, we were grimy then. Damn, we were way grimy. We were like sitting in alleyways and like chugging Still Reserve.
I know.
Oh God, it was terrible.
I think like it was like the third day after I got to Texas, we did that acid.
Oh God,
and like,
that was an accident.
Technically, yes. Technically, it was an accident. But yeah, and then it's just, I don't know. We finish each other's sentences.
It's been 6 years? Yeah, 6 years.
It's been over 6 years, yeah. Because it was election day.
Oh, God, it has.
2016, November 8th.
Oh, God, I remember now.
I'm surprised because there was a lot of whiskey involved.
Lots of wild turkey.
Mm-hmm. He took me out for Thai food, took me back to his mama's house.
Where we drank
whiskey and watched the election results roll in.
Yeah.
Next, we have Ben Marquez from Dark Circle Sumo Club in Austin, Texas. He asks, you get an all-expenses-paid trip to train with a pro sumo wrestler, leading up to an actual full basho, where you compete for the full duration, that's 15 days. And if you can win just one match, then you win $10 million. Who is the wrestler you train with and why?
Ooh.
A very good question.
So there's the wrestlers that I like and that I root for and that I like to win. And then there's the wrestlers that, do shit that works and, that I kind of admire as like tacticians. All right. I hate to say it, but I think it might be, I would probably do Tamawashi. Because anytime anytime I need him to lose, like in fantasy sumo or something, he always fucking beats my guys.
He's always beating your dudes?
Always beating my dudes. So maybe I could either like get some of that mojo or fucking, I don't know. He just has a way of fucking upsetting like my balance. So maybe I could upset someone else's balance. And he's got that mean fucking notawa too. So
I would just get Chiyoshima to teach me how to hinka. I only have to win one match, right?
Yeah.
Just one? Okay, I'm gonna hinka the fuck out of that shit and get my $10,000. Or
Oh,
no,
$10 million.
$10 million, yeah.
All right.
God, you see how broke I am? I think $10,000 is a lot of money.
It's like, fuck yeah, I'll hink him for fucking $10,000.
Donate to our Ko-fi. Fuck yeah, I'll hink it for 10,000. Next question. Our very good friend, Eric Wynn, who apparently I should not have voted for, asks, when am I getting a hand-drawn coupon for a personal pan pizza?
I will give you a coupon for a personal pan pizza.
We just need to get some
good napkins.
napkins. I almost said tampons for some reason. What the fuck? Was I thinking sanitary napkin? I don't know. I think
you just got a wire cross.
Oh no, the caffeine's starting to wear off. This is exactly what happened that made Jared so pissed off at me.
I just need to get not, a shoddy like McDonald's napkin. I'm talking about like those good, thick, like picnic napkins.
Get some of them brawny paper towels.
Just write it on a brawny paper towel. Fuck it. But yeah, there will be random hand-drawn pizza coupons flying around there sometime.
Well, at least make one and post it on the Instagram or something.
Just print this off.
For those who aren't familiar with what this is referencing, when we were recording the end-of-year amateur sumo award episode, Matt took it upon himself to offer up hand-drawn personal pan pizza motherfucking book it coupons to all of the winners. So now he has to stand by it and keep his promises.
Well, it's not like you could cash in the hand-drawn coupons. I mean,
it'll be a memento.
Yeah.
It'll be like a nice little bit of nostalgia.
Like here, I'll put in the fine print. It's like, if anyone will ever cash this, then take advantage of it. But yeah.
What the fuck? Where are they going to take it where they'll actually be like, oh, a hand-drawn coupon with crayon on a fucking napkin? Yeah, I'll give you $10 for this.
When I worked at Pizza Shuttle, if it was me by myself, like late at night, and somebody walked in with
you
some
were
shit
just
like that,
giving away free food. That's different.
yeah, I would have totally given somebody a fucking personal pan pizza, like had I been working at Pizza Shuttle.
Maybe we'll get famous, and then it'll be one of those things where people could just put them on eBay. Like, this was a hand-drawn thing by Matt Jim of Sumo Punx, who's world famous now.
And here's this hand-drawn pizza coupon.
Yeah, they can get hundreds of dollars for it.
On eBay.
Get that eBay cash.
2076.
Yes. Why not? We don't know what the future holds. So we got a question from Javier, whom apparently I forgot to write down their last name. Javier says, Matt, would you mentor in the art of sumo? And if so, what would your students have to do?
All right, so if I were to mentor, so would that be kids or just beginners?
Just
in sumo,
anyone, I think, or both.
Okay, let's just say it's some kids, right?
Okay.
There's a handful of kids. So I would make them do lots of stretching. We would start off by, doing some stretches.
Very essential.
And, would get all nice and warmed up, core twists, and then lots of suriyashi, get those movements down, get ring sense down, and then
Give them the butsukari.
Oh yeah, lots of butsukari. But that'd be at the end of practice, and then do a lot of free matches, just to kind of, just to get
make
a good
them
feel.
beat
It's
each
fun.
other up.
Yeah, it's fun to do matches.
It's fun to watch little kids beat each other up, too.
So,
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they're small and weak, and it's just funny, but...
So if I were to do a camp or something like that, that'd be fun, because whenever the kids get there, just have some a little bit of oatmeal, some apple slices or something, and then we'll just practice like a motherfucker, and then give them a big hearty lunch,
Yeah.
And then after that, we could just kind of have story time or movie time or whatever, and then after
Show
that,
them sumo do, sumo don't.
yeah. And then do 2 weeks of that, I don't know, and just show them different aspects of sumo. I thought that would be cool. I've kind of thought about doing that.
Okay, but would you show them specific moves?
Oh yeah, and that's kind of the thing about free matches too, is you could try things out, and then say next time that happens, try this, and then they'll try it next time, so.
See, Javier didn't put a lot of details in his question, but I think
So I took
he's
it like,
wanting a lot of details.
well, that's kind of what I would do, just wake up, light breakfast, hardcore training, and then lunch, and then chill, and then maybe a little bit of
What if it were adults, though?
something similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd feed them the juice and cookies and everything.
No, not
and-
juice and cookies. It'd have to be something light, something just to put some fuel in you, but that's not going to totally, make you feel all greasy and logy, But,
It's with those
traditionally...
refined sugars.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea.
Well, traditionally, they don't eat breakfast like in the stables whenever they do their training. But some of the newer guys, like Kisei no Sato, was saying that he's going to allow breakfast at his stable.
Yeah, I think, wasn't Hakuho
I think
saying
Hakuho
that
was
too?
going to do that too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's like, fuck yeah, guys, breakfast.
Hell
I'm a
yeah.
huge breakfast head, so I am all about that. But if I were to mentor people, I would definitely teach them a lot of the just traditional sumo movements, and we would do a lot of matches, because that's the fun part to me. And I would definitely teach Chirichozu the way that I was taught, because I heard that Chirichozu is kind of like it varies, from the different stables or different lineages.
Yeah, each
I
club
guess.
or
So,
stable
yeah.
can have a different way to do it too. That's right.
I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool. That's how I would mentor, but I'm taking your question as meaning like for kids or something. So
Okay, you get to read off the next question.
this is from Kaylin, aka Zombie Mommy, aka Iron Mountain Sumo Club Mom.
The Okami-san of Iron Mountain.
Yeah. All right. She asks, why do you think people put way too much emphasis on some social constructs, but not others?
Oh, this is my field right here. Let me tell y'all about how I went to school for 4 years for sociology. It was actually the double major, the sociology and the journalism. By the way, never go to J school. It's basically just a waste of money. It really is. Especially when, like, the people who are in charge of it are still stuck in, like, the old media, like, framework, Nobody reads a fucking newspaper anymore. But anyway, I'm digressing. So, why do people follow certain social constructs and not others? Is that what she said?
Yeah, or put way too much emphasis on some social constructs, but not others.
I mean, I could probably talk about this for like hours and hours and hours, but I think what it really boils down to is just people like to think that the world should be the way that they think it should be. And whenever it's not, then it kind of breaks their little brains. And like, give me a specific. What would specifically be?
See, I was thinking of something like maybe it's like how people create their own echo chambers. So they would only shop at certain places, and then they would only associate with certain types of people or only listen to certain types of music. It's almost like, is it like having your identity based on like consumerist constructs? And
It's-
like subscribing to like
Anything
certain...
can be a social construct.
Yeah.
Not anything,
But no, I know what you mean.
a lot of things are. A lot of things that we take as a given are socially constructed. The way that we experience time is socially constructed.
Yeah, temporality is
Fucking
definitely...
money is socially constructed.
Like,
okay.
like with the time is the one that really fucking gets me, because everyone's like, everyone tells me, yeah, just time moves forward. It's just common sense. It's like bullshit. It's like, time is like, the way I grew up with time is it's like different for everybody. Each person like has their own time, their own unique time. And then there's also like how you have
And see, that's how people in your culture viewed it for like generations upon generations, millennia, before these other motherfuckers came over and started being like, no, time is this, and you have to follow this kind of time now.
And it's like, what? But I don't know. There's also like, was it the Northern Arapaho, how they have time for them, like is very, it depends on the directions, like the cardinal directions and the semi-cardinal directions, and time has up and down movements. It also kind of ebbs and flows from the, through the different directions.
Or even just take time in Japan before Westerners got there.
Yeah, those types of clocks. That shit's crazy. I love that shit.
It took them so long to even figure out how to make a clock that their concept of time would fit into.
Yeah.
Because the length of an hour would change with the seasons, because it was all based on, well, how long is the sun out? It's like, sunrise is always going to be this time. It's always going to be 6 a.m. And sunset is always going to be 6 p.m. And so the hours in between, if it's in the summertime, if it's in the wintertime, those hours between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. are going to be shorter.
Yeah.
Each individual hour is going to be shorter. And then during the summertime, each individual hour is going to be longer. But then the Europeans came over and were like, no, every hour is the exact length and fucking, you got to do it this way now.
Yeah.
So that's just one example of a fucking social construct that
it's
kind of
like
took off across the world.
So I think with
For
like
reasons.
the different social constructs that like exist like across all cultures, like on Earth at any given point, I think it depends on which social constructs that you're associated with is how you could kind of glean more meta information about your culture at large, I guess.
Study anthropology, study sociology.
Yeah.
It's important stuff to understand because it helps you understand yourself and your community and your culture better.
And how everything just kind of fits, like the little intricate puzzle pieces,
See, one of the parts to this question that I didn't include, mostly because we had a lot of questions, she also asked, essentially, why are people so fucking stupid? And I think that kind of goes along with that question too. The more you understand the world around you, the more you understand why certain people are so fucking irritable and irritating. And it kind of helps you to deal with them a little better. There are people in this world who the types of ideas that they hold dear, I am diametrically opposed to.
Yeah.
But I still understand why they believe those things,
I don't like it. But,
yeah.
And, more than likely, fuck you for believing that, you ass, but still,
it's unfortunate in some cases, the things that people end up believing. But when it comes to like larger scale stuff, like a social construct, that's something that can change with time as well. The ones that people really cling to right now aren't necessarily going to be the same as the ones that are going to be seen as more rigid or more important 50 years from now. And we've seen this looking back at our own past. That's another thing. Study anthropology, sociology, and history.
I'll say, even just 20 years ago, shit was like...
Yeah, I remember that.
Different paradigm.
Fucking flip phones. Flip phones were a social construct that ended up just going out the fucking window. No, that's not true, because they're trying to bring it back. Because when I was shopping for my new phone and I got on the T-Mobile website, they were like, look, your whole screen flips now.
Oh, jeez. They just repackaged
it looks really fucking
stupid.
Sold it to you. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that question, I think. Unless you want to think of like maybe some
we could
social
actually
constructs around sumo.
Oh, there's a lot of social constructs around sumo.
Make it relevant.
Okay, so the one that always stands out to me is their organizational structure, how similar to the Yakuza it is. And how they have their own in-house justice system, and they would much rather have their justice system stay internal and stay secretive than they would to ever really let outside authorities in.
Or just the hierarchy.
The hierarchy itself. Yeah, exactly.
Or just some of the
ranks. Even the ranks of the Rikishi, the ranks of the elders, and the ranks of even the hairdressers.
All completely socially constructed. This stuff did not pop up out of Mother Nature's womb.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to think of like how much sumo represents Japanese culture at large, how highly symbolic sumo is, and how highly symbolic every act that everyone does in sumo, from the yobidashi to the way that dohyo is constructed to how it's consecrated with the offering, like, in the middle, like all of these are, these intertwined social constructs that are related to Japanese heritage and history and culture, and how
even a lot of that stuff has changed over the years too.
Exactly.
Like, for example, how they treat the idea of women and sumo.
I was about to
say that is
how
something that has not been like it is now.
How in like
forever, jump back 100
yeah.
years, and it was very common to have women in sumo.
Yeah, women sumo troops like all over the place. It's really wild to see how which social constructs ebb and flow, which ones gain more traction, which ones kind of fly out the window, as the centuries go by. And sometimes it happens really fast in some places, and sometimes people are just trying to drag it to a screeching halt. And, you know, in Japan, it's kind of simultaneous. There's a lot of traditionalists really wanting to, you know, stick to how things were done, you know, in the past or how they've always been done. And then, you know, here they are being innovative with things like, you know, storytelling, like with manga and like fucking literature and shit, fucking technology and how fucking, you know, Japanese culture.
I mean, I think it's really like that in the U.S. too, though.
Yeah.
Because there are large swaths of the U.S. that are like, tradition, and, you know, things have been this way forever. Fucking spoiler alert, no, they haven't. And they must stay this way forever, on and on into the future ad infinitum. And then there are the people that are like, hey, some of this shit's really not working. Maybe we should change it a little bit.
And that's kind of like a weird place to be within the different indigenous cultures as well, is that where there's part of us that are trying to like hold on to an identity that was violently wrenched from us, you know, and then yet at the same time being a living people in the modern world. And, you know, it's kind of odd, you know, to be in like two different worlds, but then, you know, be... What's
that word? Anachronist?
An anachronism. Yeah, kind of, you know.
Anarchactivism. I don't know. I'm just being stupid now. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
I think like paying attention to certain social constructs and not others, that's like every human does that, but you can learn a lot from them by seeing what they pay attention to and what they adhere to versus what they don't. And, you know, it just tells you a lot about somebody.
And being able to recognize what is a cultural construct is very valuable, and it takes critical thinking that a lot of people don't have. It's easy, it's simple, it's comforting to think this is the way that it's always been, or this is the way that it has to be. But once you start to realize, actually, a lot of this shit's just fucking made up, then that's where you get into that territory where you can start gaining progress into the future.
Yeah. All right, wow, we went on a tangent there.
Yeah, we did.
Our next question is from the mighty Jared Tadlock.
Yeah.
If you could make one change to pro sumo, what would it be and why? Same question for amateur sumo.
Ooh, if I could make one change to pro sumo,
yeah,
democratize it. Full stop. Democratize that shit. Unionize the rikishi.
Fuck yeah.
I'm serious. Like, pro sumo is an industry that makes so much money for such a small amount of people. I think that they should at least have a vote in what happens in the JSA.
Yeah.
You know? So democratize
democratize
that
sumo.
Shit.
All right.
What do you think?
I would change the way that they do the rankings whenever it's related to health and to injury. And I would say, you know, I mean, I understand why they do it, but I think that it's like really shitty to encourage people to push themselves whenever they're that injured.
To keep going even if their body can't handle
that whole
it.
Play through the pain, you know, mentality.
Which
really
ends up just injuring them worse.
Yeah. I really wish that they would have greater, not leniency. I just wish that it wasn't a factor in determining their rank, you know, like injury. Yeah. So it's like, hey, you got a doctor's note. You're cool until you can fucking compete again, you know, but.
Well, you know, when I democratize the JSA, they can vote on changing that part of the ranking structure.
I've brought that up before, and someone says, yeah, but then, like, you know, you won't have these, like, inspirational stories of people falling down in the ranks and working their way back up, like Terunofuji and Ura.
If you're injured and you perform badly because you're injured, you're going to lose some ranks anyway. It's not going to hurt anything to freeze someone's rank for a couple of tournaments while they get some physical therapy or whatever they need. So you could still have that inspirational story or whatever of how, oh, this guy went from Komusubi down to a Maegashira 10 and then sat out for like 3 tournaments and then came back and won the whole fucking Yusho or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of stuff that affects how Rikishi are ranked. I think you could still have that, like, inspirational shit while also letting people fucking take care of themselves.
I know, right?
You know?
That's the bottom line for me. Is I just want the guys to be freaking healthy,
Yes.
so they could keep doing like as
Yes.
good a sumo as they can for as long as they want to.
Give them therapy,
I
physical and mental.
I just think for me it boils down to better like medical care for those guys, and especially like immediate medical care.
Yeah.
All right. So if you could change one thing about amateur sumo, what would it be?
Ooh, about amateur sumo, I would make it way more popular. Well, it's getting there. You know, it is increasing in popularity, especially in the US, every year. I think when we first started getting interested in sumo, there were maybe 3-4 tournaments in the US every year. Now there's
That we
like
knew
a
of.
dozen.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many new clubs popping up every year. Yeah, I like watching amateur sumo grow. I like helping it grow. It's one of my main goals right now. Promoting it and getting people excited about it. I would also say, I know I can't pick two things, but if I couldn't have the first one, my other option might be somehow get sumo into schools.
Yeah.
Like have, at least at the high school level.
Yeah.
Maybe middle school. Start at middle school.
I mean, if they have like, rugby and shit.
But, fucking hand egg or whatever is the predominant sport in America. So who knows? And that's the thing, too. People who do American football usually turn out to be really good sumo wrestlers.
Yeah.
So
That is very true.
what would you say for amateur sumo? What's your one thing?
I would like there to be some sort of funding infrastructure. I wish there was like something.
Oh, that's good.
If I could just like funnel a shit ton of like money from somewhere, into amateur sumo, just to make sure that they were like facilities. Like facilities that had like the different locker rooms and shit, or like, how, like at the Kokugikon, they have like hot tubs for the Rikishi, or like those cold bath things, but to have like sumo specific facilities, I think would be fucking cool. I really wish we could get something like that going.
Instead of like, let's rent some mat time down at the local martial arts studio.
And it's like, oh, hey, let's go to this place with a fucking clay dirt dohyo on the floor,
Yeah.
And, that has a teppo pole, that has, these, the kind of traditional training methods, training facilities or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it would be really cool to have some folks go like maybe train or apprentice with some Yobidashi and like just kind of learn how to, make dohyos. Like whenever we were watching Sumo Do, Sumo Don't, and Ryota convinced that Komada guy to build the actual dohyo in their dojo. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And they actually had Yobidashi come in to, build that. But I think if maybe we could get some people to kind of learn that kind of trade craft and, could learn how to build and maintain these dohyos and actually have sumo specific facilities, I think that would do a lot of good for the growth of amateur sumo. So that would be what I would do if I could somehow make there be sumo specific facilities that had clay dohyos.
Yeah. Okay, I've changed my answer. Actually, for amateur sumo, I think every amateur sumo club in the US needs to have a mascot, kind of like the football teams do, okay? So we're going to reach out to the local furry community
Oh,
because they already have the costumes.
So just have like a furry and a mawashi.
Yes, why not? Fucking Rikishi Raccoon or whatever.
Oh my god.
Fucking...
The Kakanage Kitsune.
Yeah. The Haku horse.
Jesus, god damn it. No Haku horse.
Yes,
There
Haku
will be
horse.
no Haku horse. God damn it.
Okay, so this next question is from Angel de la Torre. De la Torre?
De la Torre.
De la Torre. He's going to make fun of me for that. For sure. Angel asks, how much wood could a beaver chuck if he could chuck wood. Now, this is a very interesting question because I have heard it, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? But we're putting a beaver into the mix here. Mm-hmm. And I can't honestly say what a beaver would do with his wood.
God.
Okay, how much wood could specifically a beaver, not a woodchuck, chuck if he were chucking some wood? 42.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I was going to say. Holy shit. Get out of my head. I seriously was. I was just about to say 42. And you beat me to it. Holy shit.
See, we're always thinking the same thoughts.
Quit thinking in my head.
Okay, so there's your answer, Angel.
42.
42. Next question.
From Liz.
Yes, from the
roomie.
roommates.
All right. Would you get a sumo-themed tattoo? And if so, what would it look like?
Sumo-themed tattoo.
If I got a sumo theme, because you know the types of tattoos I like, because all of my tattoos are stick and pokes. Like I have no pro tattoos at all. All of my tattoos are just fucking gutter punk tattoos.
I've given you some of those tattoos.
I know, right? So if I did get a sumo tattoo, it would probably have to fit in with that kind of aesthetic, you know, of just being like rough around the edges and like, you know, those Russian prison tattoos that are like single line drawings that are just,
oh yeah.
And then people are just kind of covered in them, you know, like I've always liked that style and I always kind of felt like that's kind of what I'm working with anyway. So it would probably have to fit that aesthetic. If I did something like a single line, like very simple drawing, I mean, not like really bad tattoo flash, but you know, something simple enough, I'd probably get someone doing like a Kamarite or I don't know, maybe like a Tagata of somebody.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like a Hakuho Tagata or something, you know. So I'd probably do something like that, but I wouldn't just get like a straight up realistic portrait of some, you know, Rikishi, be like, oh, check it out, my Akibono tattoo, you know, fucking, I don't know.
That'd be kind of weird.
Like I was gonna say, I can't just get like a realistic tattoo, you know, whenever I'm working with all of this like
check out this Konishiki on my calf.
Yeah, my realistic Kanishki, and here's my fucking stick and poke.
Just get like a little stick and poke of a Goombay.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Or no, a stick and poke of one of the fucking Tom Zabel fucking, what's that, drawings? You know, like those two dudes in the red.
You mean Gary and Ned?
Yes! I'm gonna get Gary and Ned fucking tattooed on me somewhere. Fuck yes. No, that's a thing now. I'm getting those fucking Tom Zabel tattoos. Yes. Like, for real.
Oh my God, I love it.
That's happening. Thank you for the inspiration, Liz. I now know what my next tattoo is going to be.
I think I'm going to get a tattoo of a Gyoji using the Goombay as a paddle. I haven't decided which Rikishi he's going to be spanking yet, though.
And are they going to be bound?
You know, now that you mention it, I do know which Rikishi I'm going to choose. And that's Wakamoto Haru.
Oh, God.
I'm going to be banned from social media.
So, like, whoever doesn't know, a few years ago, back whenever Rikishi were able to be on social media.
Rip.
Yeah. Abi and his then Skibito Wakamoto Haru had a little goofy little, was it a prank?
It was so innocent, okay? They are friends. Yeah. And sometimes you just have to tie your friends up and put duct tape over their mouth.
And put pictures about it on Twitter or whatever it was. I think it was Twitter.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it was Twitter too. But the JSA was like, no, that makes us look bad, which I kind of see what they're saying because, you know, that was around the time when there were a lot of like
the hazing scandals.
Yeah, hazing scandals and stuff like that. But like, it's obviously a joke. And also like, just punish the people involved. Why do you got to take social media away from all the Rikishi?
From everybody. Well, the stables can have social media, but they can't have their individual social medias.
Okay, so that's actually all of the questions that we got from our adoring fans. I did come up with one last question.
Oh, no.
So this one's for you.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, no.
Wakataka Kage, Wakamoto Haru, or Wakatakamoto.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, good.
What do you say?
This is hard.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so I would have to fuck Wakamoto Haru, marry Wakataka Kage, and unfortunately I would have to kill Wakataka Moto.
Aww.
He's the older.
What did that guy, what did he ever do to you?
Nothing. That's just the way it goes.
He's too old for you. I see how you are. You nasty.
That's not actually what I was thinking. What I was thinking is like, okay, fuck Wakamoto Haru, whatever, dimples.
Well, you know he likes to be kinky.
Marry Wakataka Kage because he's got the higher rank, he's got the money.
He's got more money, exactly.
Yeah, buy me things. And then Wakataka Moto is not a Sekitori.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So
that's how I was thinking about it.
Honestly, I can't say I wouldn't go the same way. So I am not going to judge you for that.
All right. For you.
Oh, no.
For you.
This wasn't on the list.
No, it's not.
Where are you coming up with this?
It is on the fly.
Oh, shit, okay.
Fuck, marry, kill. Hoshoryu. Kerebayama. Shodai.
I think that's a pretty easy one, actually. I would marry Shodai because I feel like we would have a lot in common and be very supportive of each other.
Be very goth.
Yes. I would fuck Kiribayama. Have you heard this man's voice? Okay. And then Hoshoryu, I mean, just for the simple fact that he's related to Asa Shoryu, he's gonna have to die.
Poor Haas.
Should have been born into a different family.
Damn.
This ain't the Montagues and the Capulets.
God damn, now you had to go Shakespearean. What the fuck?
We have finally come to the very last question. Again, this is one that I came up with. What are your hopes, your dreams, your desires for 2023?
First and foremost, I want to see Hakaku step in multiple piles of dog shit. It would please me.
Give him like the Ebenezer Scrooge treatment.
Have the ghost of sumo past just kick his ass.
What is the Japanese word for ghost? Isn't it yokai?
I think yokais are like some like, kind of spirit kind of things.
Yeah, yeah. Have like the yokai of sumo past, present, and future come and convince him to give the Rikishi their social media back.
And then I really want to see Atami Fuji work his way back up to Makuuchi and hopefully stay there, get more nosebleeds.
Yes.
And let's see, what else? Oh, I really hope we get to go to Scotland.
Yes!
I really want to go to Scotland, and I really want to go to Nationals.
Oh my god, we gotta get our passports in order.
And maybe rob a couple of banks.
To fund the whole thing, yeah.
You know what I really want to do, though? I really want to, like, wait and see who works their way up and seizes the mantle of Ozeki again.
Ah. Because there's only one Ozeki right now.
Yeah. And whoever, like, becomes the next Ozeki, I'm just going to talk shit about. Just talk mad shit about them. Just because I can.
People did that to Shodai all the time.
All
but
right.
why would you do that? They worked so hard to get to Ozeki.
It's for Shodai's revenge.
Oh, is that what it is? You gotta talk shit about everybody else's faves because of how they did Shodai. You know what would really piss me off?
Huh.
You know what my 2023 nightmare would be? If fucking Ryu didn't make it to Ozeki. That shit would suck.
Oh my god, you know there's Rudin heads out there. I don't know who's a Rudin stan, but I don't know, man.
Maybe one of those girls he was cheating on his wife with.
Oh!
Who knows?
Oh, and you know what? I really want to see Abi win another Yusho. Just to watch people like hiss about it. Because you know there will be many of them hissing.
I don't know why they gave him so much shit about winning the fucking U-Show. Which it has looked like he was like right on the precipice of winning a U-Show a bunch of times recently. And then of course he got injured and like the whole thing with him being a bad boy and going out when COVID was happening. Spoiler alert, it's still happening. Wear a mask, get vaccinated. But Yeah, it's just, I think it's really got to do more with Takayasu failing once again and people not being able to handle it.
And there are lots of Takayasu stands out there, and that will want to just destroy my face whenever I say the name Floppayasu.
You're not the only one that calls him that, though. There's a lot of people on
but
our
that's the
side.
thing. It's like, I am a Takayasu fan, you know? I mean, I like the guy and I root for him, you know? But I
His
think...
mom's cool.
Yeah, his mom is cool. But I think that the whole thing, like with Abi did not intentionally, maliciously intend to hurt him. Did Abi intend to, like, move the way he did? Fuck yeah, he did. He was trying to fucking win. It's a combat sport. It's sumo.
Like, are you going to blame the opponent of everyone who gets injured doing sumo? No.
Remember whenever it was like Ichinojo and fucking Takakeisho, when Takakeisho hurt his neck and Ichinojo just kind of gently sat him down, but he was like, you know, nobody gave Ichinojo shit about fucking hurting his neck, you know, at that point. And it wasn't his fault that it happens. Shit just happens. It's a combat sport.
Speaking of Ichinojo, that's something I want to see in 2023. I want to see Ichinojo go to rehab.
Yeah.
I want to see him finally come out of this destructive cycle that he's been in and learn to love himself and become a better man. You know, I really wish him the best, and also just wish he'd stop being such a fuckhead.
I know.
Anyway, any other hopes or dreams for 2023?
Yeah, you know, now that I'm on it about the whole, you know, whenever I was ranting about the whole fucking Abi thing, I just hope Takayasu does win just one Yusho this year.
At least one.
Just one, you know, just give this man his Yusho. It really is tough watching him.
Give this man his giant macaroon or whatever the fuck.
We'll let him wrench it from the grip of his opponents, you know, but I really wish that he would get a Yusho because he just looks so sad. I just want to hug him anytime I see him, like, just get a Jun Yusho. I'm like,
he still makes more money than me.
He does. Pay my rent, Takayasu.
Pay my rent.
As for, like, the lower division guys, fucking Koto Tebakari, he's, like, moving his way up. I think he's in lower Makushita, I think. I'll have to check the ranks. But I hope Koto Tebakari could make it up to the Sekitori ranks. Yeah, I just want to see what he would look like with, you know, the Oichomage. And I want to see Akiseyama come back to Sekitori at least, you know, once before he retires, you know. Because, you know, I mean, he's a damn good wrestler, you know, and he did okay in Makushita. The only reason he went to Makushita is because he got his fucking jaw broken and he had to let it mend. Yeah. And now he's just kind of chilling in Makushita, but I hope he can make it back to Juryo at least, because I just like watching him do his thing. His body reminds me of mine. I feel like I look like him in a sense.
You're gonna steal all of his moves.
So what are your hopes and dreams for 2023?
Well, I did mention a few things. I definitely hope that we can go to Scotland. And I apologize for pronouncing it that way. Dude, I'm afraid it's going to be really hard for me to not, like...
to not use that fake Scottish accent.
Well, it's something that happens to people, though. When they're in a different culture that has a different accent, they start to kind of absorb that a little bit. And being the shithead I am, already doing that for the fun of it, for the lulz. I'm going to make a total ass of myself in Scotland. I just know I am.
Oh, I know I am too. It's going to be fucking great.
Oh, God, but I really can't wait to go. I really hope we get to go donate to our Ko-Fi. But I definitely want to meet Scott in person.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because I feel like he would be just an amazing guy to, like, bro down with. Hopefully it happens. Please donate. Besides that, women's sumo. I want to see women's sumo grow. I want to see it explode.
Well, you exploded that cup.
I knocked over my soda. But yes, I want to see it explode and just wreak havoc on the fragile, misogynistic psyches of everyone out there who thinks that women in sumo shouldn't mix. I want to see that happen.
Fuck yeah. more
definitely
women
awesome.
in sumo. It's like the whole attitude is changing globally.
But let's see, what else do I want to see in 2023? More butts. All of the butts.
More butts.
And I hope we get that house and can build our own backyard dojo.
Fuck yes.
All right, well, I think we've pretty much said all we could say.
This is a nice send-off to 2022. You know what, 2022, there was some good things about you, but for the most part, fuck off.
Sure. And on that note, thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much for all of the questions that you sent in. I'm pretty sure we got most of them. I know there were some that we had to leave off, but it was so much fun answering your questions. Oh my god, I can't wait to do this again. You know, we're all over them internets. You can find us on the Facebooks, the Instagrams. If you try looking for us on Twitter, it's Punx Sumo instead of Sumo Punx. Because I fucked up the Twitter. Give this a rating if you liked it. It helps other people find the podcast and, you know, might be something they're interested in listening to that they wouldn't otherwise know about because the algorithm is hiding it from them.
Fucking algorithm.
Besides that...
That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is
you
that
did the
all we
thing.
usually say at the end of an episode?
That's all we usually say at
Last
the end of the
outro of the year! Woo! Thanks for listening.
Bye!